I left Madagascar, my home country, in 2008. And I did not go back until 2013. I didn't see my village, my house, and my family for 5 years. And as you could imagine, when I finally went back home, I was shocked. Not only because of the changes, my siblings grown up, my parents older, but I felt my eyes suddenly open and I saw my country in a whole different way. And I am sure that anyone that has lived abroad knows at least a little about this feeling. Madagascar is one of the poorest countries on earth. The World Bank estimates that 92% of the population lives on less than $2 a day. And I knew that when I left. But when I came back, I saw it. I felt it the moment I left the airport. And I could see the struggle on the face of people walking in the streets. In fact, in my native language, Malagasy, we have an expression that describes very well what I saw. It says, "Ni Juan Nanjuani tadiavnarampitsu," which means still searching for today's food when it's already tomorrow. 80% of the Malagasy population is dependent on subsistence farming, which means they consume everything they grow, so they cannot make any money from selling it. And in addition to that, 46% of the population cannot read or write. That's almost half of the population. And this high rate of illiteracy is harming everyone in Madagascar. So let's say 2 young people, a farmer's son and daughter, are getting married, and both of them are illiterate. Logically, since there is nothing else they can do, they each get part of their parents' land and become subsistence farmers themselves. But the parents must divide their land between all of their children. So the parts become smaller and smaller from generation to generation. And since the farming method is traditional, it's not efficient. In fact, it is worse than subsistence farming. They often can't even grow enough to feed themselves. Most of them don't believe in birth control, and they cannot afford hobbies. They don't believe in birth control because of traditional belief or religious belief or traditional culture. So they will keep having babies. Some of those babies will not make it to adulthood because of malnutrition or disease. And even if the child lives, the parents will not be able to send them to school. And so they will end up exactly like their parents. There is no hope that the government will do anything about this because the country is politically unstable and highly corrupt. And people are anyway too busy finding food to care or even to understand what is going on there. Mampiuna is one example. We grew up together in the same village, and I knew her mother. Her job was washing clothes in the river. So she could not afford to send Mampiuna to school. She was sick, but did not have enough money to afford treatment, and she passed away a few years ago. And guess what? Mampiuna is now doing the exact same job as her mother did, washing clothes in the river. She is only 22, and she already has 2 children. The father of those children left them, so now she won't be able to send them to school, and eventually they will repeat the same story. And her case is very common in Madagascar. Most of the little girls I used to play with are now single mothers. This has become the standard life for everyone. This has become so normal to the point where nobody has any idea that a better life is possible. So I realized that my life turned out different because I was lucky to be able to go to school. I was lucky because my mother was working for the Catholic Church, so I could go to any Catholic school for free. And I was lucky because my father understood the importance of education, and he always encouraged me to continue. I got a scholarship for my undergraduate studies in Morocco, and now another one for my graduate studies here in KAUST, Saudi Arabia. And I strongly believe that everyone deserves this chance. Education is the key. Education will break this vicious cycle. The effect will be long-term, and there are no boundaries in sight. So I felt that I had to do something, I had to do anything I could to help those children. My idea was to create a non-profit organization that would rescue as many children as possible from this cycle. Get them educated and inspire them by telling them and showing them that there is a better life and they can have it too. So 1 year ago, exactly 1 year ago, I talked about this idea to my best friend, Elisa, a beautiful soul that loves helping people. Of course, she told me that she always wanted to work for a non-profit organization like this. So we started to meet regularly and made a clear idea of what we wanted to do to help. And one day, I was sitting in a coffee shop, and I was just smiling at people. And I don't know if you notice, but when you smile at someone, even if it's somebody you have never met, that person gives you also a very sincere smile back. I believe kindness is very easy to transmit. Have you ever noticed that if you hold the door for someone with a smile, the other person smiles back? But I believe that the problem of the world is that nobody dares to give that first smile. That's how I thought Give Them a Smile would be the perfect name for this organization. I thought this organization would be the starting point of kindness sharing. Giving a smile means not only smiling at someone, but also putting a smile on the face of that person. So, me and Elisa, we started to contact people in my old school in Madagascar, and we explained to them what we wanted to do to help. Our team there identified the kids in need. Most of them are orphans. Some of them were good in school, but had to drop because the guardians or the parents could not afford it anymore. Some of them have never been in school and would have never gone without help. And then we made the calculation. It cost next to nothing to put a child in school in Madagascar. It's around $100 per year. The children we are helping live in a small countryside called Maswabe. To get there, we need first to take a flight to the capital of Madagascar, Antananarivo, in our case from Saudi Arabia. And then from the capital, get a 9-hour bus drive to another city called Tsiky. And from Tsiky, another 25 kilometers with this small truck. But it takes 2 hours to arrive because of how the road is. But finally, we arrived. This is Maswabe. This is my village. So we visited our kids, talked to them, got to know them. We explained to them and their parents the importance of education and how we wanted to help, and all of them were very happy and very grateful. I felt another level of joy when I saw their sincere smile as I talked to them. the joy of giving, the joy of sharing happiness, the joy of helping without asking for anything in return. And I could see that joy on the face of everyone helping for this project, including Elisa. So we thought it would be great to share this joy with as many people as possible. Today, Give Them a Smile is supporting the education of 20 children in this faraway village with the help of people, families, individuals from 12 different countries. They have never met, and they belong to two very different realities, but the benefactors are being part of the life of those children every day. So we thought it would be great to create and maintain this beautiful connection between two very different realities. First of all, for those children to get the help, but second, for the benefactors to feel the happiness bounce back. It was not easy because, as you could imagine, like most people in Madagascar, those kids don't have access to internet. So we are using a different method, letters. And this is one of them. This is one of the letters. The name of the kid that wrote this letter is Frido. He's 13. And he said, "Thank you so much for the help. I received the school furniture. They all are very nice. Without you, I can't study. My mother is very pleased, and I'll do my best at school." Those children are feeling lucky because people they don't even know are being kind to them. They are now going to school. They are learning, and they will get a better life. They now know how it feels to be helped, and they will help and inspire other people with what they have. Give Them a Smile is putting a smile on the face of those children every day. A smile on the face of their parents. A smile on the face of everyone helping for this project. And someday, a smile on the face of everyone that will be affected by the education of those children. And as I said before, there are no boundaries inside. So, I told you this story to remind you that we don't choose, and we cannot choose where we are born. But the most beautiful thing is that we can help each other with what we have been given. However, I think that it is possible only if you accept who you are and be honestly thankful for what you have. I think it is very admirable that humans always want more, always want to be better, and always want to improve. But I think that it is also important to stop and take a moment from time to time and be grateful for what you already have. So, to finish this talk, I would like to ask everybody to stop. Take a moment and think about what you have in your life. Small things, fundamental things. You don't have to worry about where to sleep tonight or where to find the money to buy food. So imagine how it would be without those things. And be thankful. Allow yourself to be happy because you have those things. But don't stop there, because there is another level of joy, the joy of giving and sharing. How much you give is not important. What is important is your heart giving it and how much happiness you are sharing when you are giving it. And the story I just told you proves that very small things for you could mean the world, could mean life to somebody else living in a different reality. And if you think about it, each one of us somehow lives in a different reality. And everyone around us is somehow fighting a battle every day. And just being kind is giving. Remember Your smile and kindness can make the day of people around you. So, give them your smile. Thank you.